Hello, everyone, and welcome to my literacy kitchen. My name is Chef Kerry. Some of your children may know me more like Little Red Reading Hood when I do my story times. And I am the early literacy manager managing the Raising a Reader program throughout Marin County. And I am here to share with you the recipe and all the ingredients that go into that recipe to create a strong literacy foundation. Let me go ahead and put this soup here on the stove and set it to a simmer. Perfect. But there is some information I do want to share with you before we move on to the recipe. So we live in an advanced society full of technology, but the basic foundation is critical. Children that don't have books or very few in their homes before they start school and do not experience being read to at home, or maybe who haven't been introduced to early literacy skills, have already fallen into a gap. Language experts call it the 30 million word gap. So once they start school in this gap, they're starting behind and they tend to stay behind. And to make it a little clearer, that gap, the 30 million word gap, is the difference of words that a child that does have lots of books in her home and is read to constantly compared to the child that doesn't have any or has very few books in his or her home and is not read to on a regular basis. This child here has acquired that many more words just with book sharing. So let me show you how important book sharing is. I mean, we all know it's important to read. It's good to read, but I want to share some facts with you. So if a child who starts kindergarten, let's say, and reads for 20 minutes every night or is read to for 20 minutes every night during an entire school year, at the end of the school year, that child will have read or been read to for 3,600 minutes and will have heard or read 1,800,000 words. Now, if the child continues this habit or routine all the way through 6th grade, all that time, all that information, all those words will be equivalent to 60 days of school. Why do we go to school? To learn. So reading is learning. So the problem with this deficit in vocabulary is that from the day the child is born until they graduate from 3rd grade, they are learning to read because learning is dependent on experiences. So they have been given all these early literacy experiences to be able to read. Now, once a child enters 4th grade, you need to be able to read to learn. So if a child is not reading at grade level by the time they leave 3rd grade, and then they go to 4th grade without being able to read at a 3rd grade level to start, learning is going to be very difficult for them. Oh, excuse me. I heard the buzzer go off. I have to go check the turkey in the oven. I'll be right back. Okay, so the turkey wasn't ready. There was about 5 minutes left. So where was I? Yes, the 30 million word gap. All right, so this marks the beginning of a terrible cycle. Unfortunately, as literacy rates fall behind, the educational and economic opportunities become more and more limited. Imagine if you did not know how to read. You would need to rely on others for information and facts. And people must rely on literacy to think and question and make responsible decisions. Well, how do we as parents stop this cycle, close this gap? Okay, I just heard the buzzer go off. I promise I'll be right back. Okay, it was ready this time. Can you smell it? It is cooked to perfection. Let me go ahead and put it over here. Let it cool off. Okay, all right. So let's see, where was I? How do we close the gap? Yes, so by reading aloud. That's actually the first ingredient in our recipe, reading aloud. So why is this so important? And I know we know reading is good, but I'm going to break it down so you really understand how important these read alouds or book sharings are with your child. So first, by taking time to spend with your child, you are showing him or her that he or she is so important and is loved. This child feels safe and secure. And at that point, they're ready to learn from you. So once you add a book to that equation, you have created a positive connection with a book, with literacy. So when adults read aloud to children, or even older siblings, grandparents, whoever it may be, it's just sharing that book out loud. You are decoding the words for your child. Now, it is good for a child to read, obviously, and learn how to decode, but this way you're role modeling how to do it. Also, you're right there reading the book, and if a child doesn't understand a word, you can define it right there, increasing their vocabulary. And you're reading with fluency. So again, role modeling what a reader should look like and sound like when they read. And hearing someone read with fluency is actually very pleasurable, very pleasing to the ear. Because you are a reader, you can read books at higher levels with more complex ideas, which means more vocabulary. And then teach them early literacy skills, like maybe it's how to hold a book, how to turn the pages, what is the name of the front of the book, the back of the book, what do you find on the front of the book? Different things like that around literacy. Also, you are reading books about different things, so they're gathering all this background knowledge, which is essential for comprehension. And then ultimately, your children will fall in love with books. And that is my primary goal. And I know it's yours as well. So I am going to share the rest of the ingredients with you in short little videos or vignettes. So for now, I will go ahead and carve the turkey, and I will see you back here to share the second ingredient with you.